we get a comment? Let's see. Give me just one moment. Karan Flemings, what's up indeed? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. We're gonna get started in just a second, but this is my first time streaming to YouTube. Normally I stream to Twitch, so I'm just making sure everything's okay. So just bear with me, and I will make sure everything is going according to plan. If there are any audio issues, just let me know, and I will do my best to take care of it. But it looks like everything's okay right now. I know I'm going to start with Flash. We're just going to go through and lab it up. We're going to figure this freaking game out, because it's been a while. It has been quite some time, so just going to make sure that I can remember everything. Oh, hey J-Jar, good to see you. Thanks for coming by. I'm just checking, making sure everything's good. Let me know if the audio is good, if you can hear me. You guys can hear me, right? I think so. Yeah, there it goes. Alright, we're gonna get into it in just 1 second. Okay, first up on the list is the Flash. So I assume that he's going to play mostly the same in Injustice 2 as he did in Injustice 1. There are a few differences that I noticed, but I'm not going to talk too much about that, about Injustice 2, because it's mostly going to be speculation. I do not recall seeing his uppercut. That is actually good. Because what it's going to do is force him for wake-ups to, I think he's going to have to use this as his primary wake-up, which is then going to force him to meter burn if he wants to actually do damage, which is going to take his meter away. And that's a good thing, considering that, you know, I don't know what maximum trait combos are going to be like in Injustice 2, but at least here in Injustice 1, you're looking at 58% for the overhead or low option for 1 bar and trait. 58% for guessing a 50-50 wrong. That's pretty insane. So if they're going to force him to have to use meter on his wake up, I think that's good. I think that is definitely acceptable. I will take that all day. All freaking day. I will take that. So that's good in my book. But we're going to talk a little bit more just about how he functions here in Injustice 1. So, as we mentioned, 58%. See if I can do it. Oh, it's going to take me a few tries. I think I got that. Whoop! I did the wrong one. Yeah, why can't I do it? I'll give it a few more tries. I'm not gonna. If I can't do it, screw it. Ah, alright. Oh, I messed it up, but it's 58%. 58% also the low option as well. For no meter, he would use something like this. I think I messed up. No, crud. Poop. Yeah, we're gonna sit through this. Dang it. Okay. That should do, I want to say 36 is regular B&B without the stage interaction. The stage transition. Should do around 36%. Still nothing to, you know, disregard. It's good damage. It's not quite 58%, but still good stuff. Yeah, 36%. Still totally fine. That is, I'll take that all freaking day. That's good stuff. One thing, let me check here. Was Lightning Leg safe? I think it was. Yes, it was -5. So it was their turn, but one of the bad things about this in Injustice 1 was that, okay, it's safe. I have my 50-50, my 50-50 is safe. I'm not going to get the meter burn if they block. So I can just mash out meter burn, it doesn't matter, I don't have to confirm anything. Alright, if they block, I mash out meter burn, I don't lose my bar, and I'm safe. If I do get the hit, then I get my full combo. Alright? But what would end up happening is if a Flash really wanted to just screw with you, they could then hold the lightning leg and then cancel it, like this. So you'd have stuff like this, and they'd go from the overhead, like if they had conditioned you to block overhead a lot, then they would go into this lightning leg, cancel it, and then go low, and kind of more or less steal your turn. It sucked. It was so stupid. And then you could also backdash out of it, just in case. You know, in case you wanted to try to bait something out of your opponent, try to catch them doing something. Maybe they have an uppercut and you're just going to try to screw with them a little bit and get out of there. Let's see. I wasn't a Flash player, so you have to excuse me. There you go. So, he really didn't need that. He didn't need it whatsoever, and he also didn't need it to be safe. That was freaking ridiculous. So, let's see. The big way that Flash got in, he has the best walk speed in the game. He's got really good dashing. What would happen a lot is you get around this area, this back 2 range here, and what would end up happening is you're around here, your opponent's kind of scared, then you dash in low. And that would just be kind of like this cheeky, hardy har har, I got in, deal with it, take this 58% damage because I earned it by just doing this so fast that you can't really react to it. And this whole time, if I do this back 2, you've got to, well, I mean, you can try to disrespect it, but it's a little bit risky. Because if you start off of a back 2 and go into his trait, I think you get like 60-something% off of a trait combo. So, and then this is also rather easy to confirm, as you can see there. Also, I didn't mention this. Pound was plus, right? Yes, meter burn is plus on block, which means you get another turn. So they block your mix-up. You put meter on the table for your launch, and to not only be safe, but be plus. You're plus 11 on block. It's nonsense. That's utter nonsense. That's not cool. That's just not, that's immoral, honestly. That's just wrong. But he had it. It's your launcher, safe on block. You already had your 50-50. Tough luck. Keep blocking. So that's pretty much Flash. Let's see. Anything I'm missing here? Oh, Torpedo. I don't know if he has Torpedo in his F2. I don't think he does. One of the things with Torpedo, let's see if I can, no, I'll do it this way. It will put him at +3, which is going to guarantee you a down 1 check. So once you get in, they have to stay there. They have to sit there and block. It's very, very risky if they don't. Because again, 58% if they don't. And it's a safe 58%. So what you could do, the second hit, the second hit of the torpedo is what actually makes him plus. So I'm going to go ahead and set it on to record. So the second part, you see 2 hits, 14%. The second hit is what actually makes him plus on block. If you crouch, the second hit does not connect. The second hit is a high. So what I can do here is crouch and then mash, and I win. Full combo. So that was one of the things that you could do against Flash if he was getting a little antsy and he didn't want to play out the neutral, is you crouch here, and even if you just don't know the timing for it, you don't know what you have that can connect when he's, you know, grounded again, just mash out down 2. There you go. So that was most of Flash. I think I covered the big stuff. Running Man stance, that was really kind of a gimmicky thing. I don't know why he still has it. Didn't really need it. I don't think it really gave him much. I mean, you could use it for some, you know, yeah, you could use it for weird setups off of trait and everything, but I don't really know if it was. It was very. It was rarely used. It was underutilized, and I'm not really sure if it was worth. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was really worth messing around with all that much. Let's go into Nightwing.
Nightwing. Batman.
So Nightwing. Let's see. What was Nightwing about? Nightwing was mostly the staff stance here. This is something I always wanted to check. What did he have that was plus in Eskrima? Nightwing had 2 different stances. I think Blue Beetle's the only character that they've shown so far in Injustice 2 that has stances. If I can recall, at least. Yeah, nothing's really coming to mind. Yeah. I don't think anyone else has stances. So at the back 3 and 4-3, you expect those to be plus on block. This is plus 10? And then this is plus 9 on block. Let's see what these attacks are. Okay, that's overhead. Oops. Oh, okay. So that's... okay. That's interesting. Wait, his Eskrima down 1 is plus 5 on block? Is that... oh, it's a 9-frame startup. Why is it plus 5 on block? Holy crud bags. That's ludicrous. That's actually stupid. That can't possibly be right. Hold on. Yeah, we're gonna have to test this. Hold on a minute. That cannot be right. Hold on. I'm gonna do... I don't know a mid for him. Hold on, let me look up a mid. 12 frame mid. Okay. Okay. So then it should... okay. We'll try this. Hold on. I'll do this. Oh, I can't set him to block, can I? Hey, Breaks. Yeah, I'm going over the roster, thinking about what they're doing here. I don't know if I can set him to block. If I do... let's try that, and then go to record. Oh, poop. And switch back. And then... always... I don't think this is gonna work, but... yeah. So I'm not sure how I can actually test this. If I... oh no, I can put it on reversal. Derp. Reversal. Oh, he doesn't have good reversals. I forgot about that. Huh. Well. Yeah. Maybe it is +5. Okay, Breaks, did you know if Nightwing's down 1 was actually +5 on block? Look, it says +5 on block. Doesn't that sound ridiculous? That sounds stupid. I don't remember that. That's just ludicrous. Alright. Let's see. Staff was the big thing, though. Let's see what my plus things are. Yeah. Back 3, 4, 3s you expect to be plus. That one was +3. I thought it was like +1 or 2. Hey, Rensho. Yeah, see, I doubt it's +5, but, I mean, gosh. That's just... It can't possibly be +5. Man. Alright, so... And then down one's +3. I knew that was freaking plus. But wait, if it's a 6-frame startup and it's +3... Well, you know what? That wouldn't actually be very surprising. His staff stance was freaking stupid. It was brain dead. Gosh dang, it was dumb. So let's look at some... +21? Okay, what the heck? Oh, I might not be able to test this unless... Okay, I think maybe I can't make it work. Nope. Whoa! Whoa! Did you see how long it took him? Oh my goodness! Is that really +21 on block? Did you guys see that? Am I imagining things? Hold on. What the heck is this character? There is a gap in the string, but oh my goodness! Oh my, +21 on block? What the heck is that? Let's see if there's anything else that's really stupid. Oh, I remember that. Okay. I think I know what that was. No way. His down 1-2 is +8 on block? Are you serious? This is +8? Okay. What? Okay, I don't think you can do that. Wow. In that jail, so you can, I know that's mega plus. Wow. So, and then I can just do that, and you can't do jack. Okay, he actually got low. There we go. Wow, man. Okay. So, but no one ever used a Scrimma. Here's the thing. No one ever used a Scrimma. His thing was that. This was Nightwing. This was Nightwing. You played online, you have played this. You have had this fun. You have enjoyed this life. Oh my goodness. I'm pretty hyped for Damian Wayne, yeah. He was looking pretty cool. But yeah, that was really his bread and butter. Let's look at some of his stuff here. Now the only character I don't think Nightwing is coming back. He might be DLC, but I highly doubt that. Blue Beetle is, I think, the only character with a stance change, if I recall correctly. Let me see what the staff stuff is here. Yeah, he didn't really have much, but he stayed in this stance almost the entire time. So that's actually +2 on block? Oh my goodness, this character was dumb. I mean, I always said this character was dumb, but wow, this character was dumb. Alright, Wingding. Okay, Ground Spark. I didn't know that was +12 or +11. I mean, never really needed to use it all that much in a situation to make yourself plus, but interesting. It was only -4. Huh. I'm getting a sneaking suspicion that some of this frame data was like some pre-patch version. But I don't know. They already have a Robin type character that was very requested. Yeah. Yeah, I don't expect Nightwing to come back. And then Scatter Bomb, but you never were really able to hit this practically. You never really wanted to either. Staff Spin, yeah, and then you meter burn it and you're +18. I gotta sit there and hold that. I didn't know the regular one was +9. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. +9 on block. It makes sense. I mean, that explains a lot. Let's keep going here. And then Flying Dick. That was -3, but you could. It was a hit. Yeah, it hit high, so you could down to it. But there were some ranges and some setups to where you'd have to block it. Let's see what we have here. Hold on. Oh wait, let me do it this way. Okay. So, big game plan with Nightwing was junk like that. Oops. I forgot he's on a reversal. So, stuff like this, you'd fake people out. And switch between the stances. The Wingdings are overhead. Also, this was really good. Oops. That was very, very good. His jump 3 was just hitbox. Just pure freaking hitbox. And you could also delay these Wingdings, the meter burn version, which really screwed with people once you got your zoning going. Having that mobile zoning presence was really good.
Stick around.
Oops. You can tell I didn't really play it. So, yeah, that's Nightwing. Not too much to really break down. I'm playing with the controller, Rincho. The Batman.
Batman. Deathstroke.
Oh, thanks for the share, Breaks. Appreciate it. Alright, now Batman, here's some fun stuff. So, Batman, contrary to popular belief, Batman was not purely a jump 2. He was mostly a jump 2. But not purely a jump 2. He had a little bit more, just a little bit more. Very, very little, but there was still more. Actually, he had a lot more. He was a very, very complete package. One of his big things was his zoning. You might think, okay, he's got batarangs, but that's it. Oh, he's got bats. But bats and batarangs, that's not really a big deal. Yes, it is. It's huge. Because you do stuff like this. You come in here, you throw your batarangs, you get them conditioned, then they jump. when they jump forward here. When they jump, you do this. Oops. Well, generally you time it, and you have the right distance. And it's easier to do when you have fewer bats. There we go. And when you're in practice. Then you do that, and you just took 30% off of them for free, and they're right back in the exact same situation that they were just in. And generally, you will also... I'm just going to do this. You can... I wonder... Let's try. Okay, yes, it's when they tech roll. Let's see, roll on. So let's make sure this is what I want. Yes, there you go. So then if they roll out, you immediately throw batarangs, and if they decide to roll out, bam, they have to sit there and take some chip. So then you can also meter burn it if you want, and you can make them super negative, or you can you can't jump 2 after down 1. Can't jump 2. What do you mean? I'm not sure what that. I'll keep going first and let you catch up, or let you elaborate, because I'm not entirely sure what you meant. So you do that tech roll, you throw batarangs on top of them, they have to sit there and take the chip, or you can meter burn it, and in that case, if you want to meter burn it, yeah, you can do that, but I just don't like to, and then call in bats, and then that'll put you in a very, very good situation. I wasn't going for max damage, I was just trying to do the setup, but yeah, you can do that, yeah. I think you probably can jump 3, depending on the range. Batman's down 2 was kind of finicky. I didn't find a lot of success with it personally, unless the jump was iffy, you know, and certain characters. I wouldn't try to jump 2 on a Deathstroke jumping in, because generally a Deathstroke is going to have a jump 3. And a jump 3 is going to beat Batman's down 2 most of the time. But in this case, where he's just empty jumping, well, I mean, yeah, I'll do it. I don't give a crap, because I know it's going to work. There's nothing to threaten me with. So let's go ahead and take this down. I'll take the rolling mode off. Let's see here. Corner combo, which I highly doubt he will still have. And this is perfect. This is the exact range that you would want to have if you were Batman in the corner. And you had your opponent in the corner, sorry. Because you could do this, alright, and that's going to cover the jump option. You jump and release them. You can also do a jump 2 in case you think that they're going to jump, but that's going to force them to have to sit there and block. Yeah, I didn't think he would have that in Injustice 2. From what I saw, it did not look like he was going to have that. So that was what, 35? 30-something%. 35, yes. Dang, I got good memory. Okay, so yeah, that was like 35%. And then you could do stuff like that to just really screw them over. Let's see, his pressure. Batman had really good pressure. Let's actually set up reversal, sword flip. Now let's see if I can remember the pressure. Yep. He had really solid pressure. I don't think this works. Okay, well it does for that sword flip because it's not fast enough. You wouldn't want to do that on someone like Lex Luthor. Then again, okay, there's a lot of times people will look at something and they'll say, oh, there is a possible way to escape this situation. Therefore, this whole thing completely useless. Because there is a possible way to escape this one thing. But what you have to understand is, not all of your opponents are going to know that. 2, how hard is it to escape that situation? And 3, what are the requirements to escape it? So, in a situation like this, where I've got back 1-1 into... why can't I do it now? Oh, there you go. I was pressing the wrong thing, that's why. When you have back 1-1 into meter burn batarangs, yes, there's a gap there, but does your opponent know that you're going to do that? Or do they think that you're going to do this? Do they think you're going to do this? Do they think you're going to do this? How do they know? So they have to make that read. They have to have something that is able to interrupt it. They have to be able to do it, and they can't do any of that if they don't know that they can. So that was something that I always got a little frustrated with when people would say, "Oh no, there's a gap in that string." So, you know, once they've shown that they know the gap, okay, then you can adjust from there. And it's always good to have the adjustments. But sometimes there'd be an overreaction to, oh, there's a gap in that string, this string is useless. And then you put that in with a pressure character like Batman, and even someone who knows that it's there, even someone who's capable of exploiting it, is still not going to always want to do it. They're still not going to be familiar enough with it, familiar enough with you, know what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and be able to do it right then and there. So, yeah, someone would say, "Oh, that's not good." No, it's fine. It's totally freaking fine. If your opponent is freaking amazing and they can stop that, okay, then don't do it. But I mean, it's still viable is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, you'd have stuff like this, and see, he got completely locked out of that. And I could actually factory if I didn't want to do the stage transition because it would be stuck here. So he had great pressure up close. His jump 2 was freaking amazing. Let's actually see if I can do this. Oh my goodness. Hold on. I remember something. The online. Oh, it's so... And then delay it. It was so fair. It was so fair. Oh my goodness. That was basically Batman. He had everything that you needed to do. The biggest weakness for Batman was that your opponent was generally guaranteed a clash. That was the biggest weakness for Batman. But really, he could beat any character in the game. Thinking about a bad matchup for him right now. If I have to think of a bad matchup for Batman, it's going to be Aquaman. Just because of Aquaman's trait and his down 2, which is really, really good. The Batman cannot jump. He's got to play the lame game. And Aquaman's really designed to do well in that lame game. Yeah, I think I'm thinking Aquaman is really the biggest. Maybe Doomsday. Aquaman's the biggest one. I'm comfortable with the Aquaman one. Not quite sure with the others, but he had the ability to fight everybody. Lobo. I don't remember anything about Lobo, so let's go ahead and we're gonna actually learn Lobo. I don't remember the combos I made for Batman and Injustice 2. That's alright. We'll have... You know, it's only a month away. Only a month away. I remember this, though. Gosh, that was annoying. And then he'd 50-50 off of it. So let's look in here. Oh, his jab was minus. Okay. So, buttons... mostly minus at a disadvantage. 1-1. Okay, that. I didn't know that was actually a plus on block. 1-2. Okay. Oh, what? Thick. Back one. Whoa! What? That explains a lot. So, are like all his strings plus unblock? Okay, there we go. We got okay. Oh god. Boy, that one was mad annoying. This was overhead. No, it wasn't overhead. Oh wait, no, over here. There we go. Yes, it was overhead. Oh yeah, that one. Oh my goodness, I was not a fan of that one. Not a fan whatsoever. Oh, this is the. Yeah, that's the combo star. That's the big boy damage one. Let's see here. You remember those chains? Yeah. And here. Oh yeah. Yeah. So. Okay. Now, when you loaded his shotgun, that's 30% right there. That's don't press a button damage. That's how dare you damage. That's your dum-dum damage. Oh, okay. I wonder what this command was. There it is. Alright. Oops. Okay. I'm trying this combo purely off of feel. It's been a... Okay. What's this? And then the Chakra Blast. Okay. Does that actually... I can't cancel that, right? Okay. So it's just me being dead. Alright. I'm not gonna try this many more times. Because it's even frustrating. Ah. There we go. Darn. Okay. So that combo, that was his big boy damage. And when you buff the shotgun, not only are you buffing these attacks, but you're also buffing anything that uses the shotgun, including the back 3. His forward 3 uses it as well, so you're buffing anything like that, even his strings. So if I do this, right there, big boy damage. You see it does 16, but then when you load the shotgun, 21. Yeah. I'll be playing... Hey, Avatar. I'll be playing Wonder Woman again. I'll be playing Poison Ivy. Probably Brainiac. Let's see. Who else? Jon Stewart, of course. A Batman, of course. Who else am I excited for? I might tinker with Deadshot a little bit. He's not high on the list. I feel like there's someone that I'm missing. That I just freaking know I'll be playing. Black Canary. Who is it? Oh, Scarecrow. There we go. I'm really excited for Scarecrow. He reminds me of Ghost Rider. And I love me some Ghost Rider. So let's look at this. Oh, that's an anti-air grab. Alright. Oh, and Darkseid. There we go. Yeah, Darkseid too. Yeah, very excited. I'm excited. And then the low. Now this actually started combos, did it? No, it was just cashing out damage. Space hook.
You're welcome.
Let's see here. There was something else that was there. Back? Oh, switch sides? Okay, that's cool. Lobo, I feel, was very underutilized. I think he was a very, very good character. It's just people didn't really feel like using them all that much. But this, so now I know the inputs for it. This was the most annoying thing. That's low, or this overhead. That was so freaking annoying. Or you just have them cash out damage here on block. How much did it do on block? Let's find out. Damage. And we'll set him to always. Alright. Oh, crud. That's dang near 10 altogether? Let's see. No, it's about 8% altogether. Dr. Fate too. Yeah, Dr. Fate looks awesome. So then this. That's not too much on chip. But that was dust. Oh my goodness. And then the pushback on it too. Let's see, could he do it? No, not quite. Can he? Close. He gets the mid, not the overhead aspect of it. Man, that was so frustrating. Could not stand that. And this was just like a stop it button. Just don't do anything ever. How dare you? How dare you have the nerve to be doing anything at any time? Anywhere. Gosh dang it. And thank you, Avatar, for sharing the stream. I appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of people look really cool. Even Catwoman. They even managed to make Catwoman look kind of cool in this. Playstyle wise, not actually her face.
The Joker.
So Joker.
Batman.
Joker was quote unquote worst character in the game. And I'm not gonna say that he was good. In the context of the game, I'm not gonna say that he was, you know, actually super amazing and everybody's so bad because he's not as good as me. Blah, 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 blah. I never really used Joker, but look at that down 2 range. Don't do anything ever. Don't you just love buttons like that? How dare you do anything? And the best part about this, you can cancel it. It was so good. So good. So let's do... You could cancel it. And that's... Oh my goodness. If you were using Joker, alright, and you were not abusing this, what the heck were you doing? What the heck were you doing, sir? So let's see here. I wonder. Oops. So those teeth hit low if you didn't know. And he can actually I know for a fact that I'm not going to be able to hit it even if I could remember what the combo was. There were some pretty much unblockable setups. I think they were technically blockable, but practically not. I don't know if we're getting a Joker reveal, Avatar. He's dead in that universe, you gotta remember. So, and I don't know if they're really crossing the universes over. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to be if they're going to be taking the alternate universe Joker and putting him into this universe, because I have a feeling that this is taking place entirely in the Regime universe. I think that's where the story is. I don't think we're getting the alternate universe heroes, the ones that we, kind of know and love. I think we're set in the one from Earth 1. Oh, he's okay, yeah. Well, wait a minute. Earth 1. Is Earth 1 the one with the Regime? Is that the one that you're talking about? Or Earth 1 is in the one not Regime? Because I don't remember. It's been a long time since I did the story mode. I know Superman killed one of them. So you're talking about the the non-regime universe Joker going to the regime. Okay. So, okay, that's interesting then. So, if he's not the last one, then he might be DLC. If that, and that kind of sounds familiar. He might be DLC, because I don't know. It's hard to think that they wouldn't release with Joker. That's the thing. Anyway, let's get back to this. So, Joker was very particular in how you played him. You had to know what you were doing. He wasn't as strong as a lot of the other characters. He was a nut. You can cancel the gunshot. You have his trait is his parry, so it's pretty much useless. You have directional parries, but it's not practical to expect. I don't even know what you got out of it. I never even figured out what you could do. Slightly increased movement speed. Who cares? Who cares? That is a waste of a trait. That is seriously a waste of a trait. Name them, make them simpler. Okay. It's a waste of a trait. A slightly increased movement speed. That's such... No. So anyway, that's, I think, the go-to combo starter. Let's see. I wonder. What was his big boy damage? Was that this? Huh. What was that big combo one? Yeah, look at that. That's just rude, isn't it? That's cruel. But there are some setups where you can force them to restand. You know, in that kind of setup you could roll out, you could escape it that way. But, I mean, he was a very technical character. It was very hard to play him. He had strength, yes, but in the context of the game, it just wasn't practical to attain that strength. Attaining that strength was just kind of hard, when a lot of other characters attained it in much easier ways. Yeah, kind of unfortunate. This could be used to restand people. Very, very helpful. Let's see. Yeah, but there's just not a lot to talk about here. He was very demanding on your skill set. Yeah, let's go on to the next character. If they do have him, he definitely needs to be reworked because, well, I mean, it depends. It depends on how Injustice 2 plays out. Maybe in Injustice 2 it'll work out much better. I would say honestly, if his trait was no longer a parry, but if he landed like a throw and it gave him one of the little ticks, I think that would be okay. It'd be much more practical. It'd create a little bit of offense for him up close. It looks like Injustice 2 is going to have a little bit more throwing in the game, so yeah,
Harley Quinn.
cool with me. I'd say that'd be nice.
Harley Quinn.
Rework them in other ways too, but
Deathstroke.
alright, Harley. Now, they have changed Harley a little bit. Her trait is different, which is definitely good. They needed to change that trait. Here we go. They needed to change the trait, because the trait is done. See, you don't even know what you're going to get, so you can leave yourself in a very vulnerable situation if you're wanting to get the bomb or something. Then you leave yourself in a situation where the only way I can use the bomb is to keep myself close to the enemy, But then if I do that and I don't get the bomb, well, that freaking sucks. And you just never know. There we go. So, let's see. Harley's big thing is, yeah, she could do damage, but she was never really about that. She was about the zoning. So you're getting up here, you're just pew pew, pew pew, pew pew, pew pew. You throw in some of that, one of these, one of those. What they're doing with her in Injustice 2 seems to be really playing more into that zoning aspect. They seem to really want to bump up her zoning because they're giving her the hyenas, and I think that you can even make one of them go overhead. You can change their properties. That is a clear direction for her zoning aspect. I don't know if they still have Silly Slide. You could actually cancel Silly Slide into Tantrum, which was pretty cool. Let's go into... Let's see. What did she have in here? Plus 21. Oh yeah, okay, that's the guns. That's right. That was plus. Let's see here. A lot of her strings, I'm gonna be honest, completely useless. I actually didn't combo. That is weird. Let's push him into the corner. She actually had some pretty cool combos. And let's see if I can remember them. Overhead. That hits overhead, by the way. Sweet. So let's do... Oh, what's the button for that? Oh, it's forward, isn't it? See if I can cancel. Okay, you cannot cancel that. So, let's see here. Oh, I messed it up. But she has a restand as well off of this. And it's going to do damage over time, which you can see in the health bar up there. But you restand them. I'll do Black Adam next, sure. But you restand them, and you can go for the slow right here. And you can also go for the overhead here. Let's see if I'm going to give it one try. Oh, I messed it up. One more try. It's been a while, I don't remember. Okay, I can't do it. But yeah, you'll have the restand here, you're going to leave them here, and then you can check them one more time. And if they guess wrong, they're back in the vortex again. If they pressed a button, back in the vortex again. Let's see what you end here. What's your advantage? It says neutral. Interesting. I don't remember anyone ever challenging it. So, very interesting. Very interesting. Lumine Santias? How are you? Is that Portuguese? I only speak English. Sorry. But thank you for being a subscriber. Anyway, so yeah. Mostly, let's see if I can do something here. Yeah, and then you can also do stuff like that. I wonder, hold on. She also had some stuff in the center. Gimmicky stuff, but... Yeah, there you go, see? You can't actually combo that, sorry. It's been a while, sorry. And then you can always dump the cupcake on them. Another thing, let's actually set him to block here. Always. This, as long as the third cupcake hit, let's actually get him to reversal. Oops, reversal. There we go. Sword flip. The third cupcake, I believe, was the one that guaranteed this. Yes. They are jailed. You are guaranteed that gunshot if the last cupcake hits. I don't know if it's going to be the same in Injustice 2. I would expect it to be the same. So, that is something to keep in mind. And it'll, of course, trap here. You still have the plus range, you just won't have that guaranteed jailing unless the third cupcake hits. So yeah. Mostly, she was mostly this. This was her game. She could actually cancel that. She could cancel her air guns into her straight guns again, which was very helpful. She had an overhead here. I think we got to that. I think we just offhandedly mentioned it. But most of her streams were actually not that good because she was primarily a zoning character. Silly slide, cancel. We talked about that for different things. Tantrum. Most of them were not really used. She can actually roll out, but your opponent, if they block, is generally going to have the opportunity to punish you. So, the safest thing to do is generally do that. I'm pretty sure that was safe on block. If I do recall, that was safe on block. -7. Okay, so it was a tight punish. So that was your best option, was to do the cartwheel. So we had a request for Black Adam. Let me throw out some Black Adam. Let's see, where is he? Right over here.
Black Adam.
Black Adam.
Superman.
I'm so excited for that Egypt stage. There, oh man, that looked freaking amazing. That's gonna be my new favorite stage. I have a feeling. Man, that looked so good. Oh, they have a Themyscira stage as well, but I think it was an Egyptian stage. It looked sick. Alright, so here was the biggest weakness of Black Adam. That's his only low. Besides this. Alright, he has, I believe, 2 lows. Everything else, that's his sweep, so we showed that. Everything else is overhead. So you were generally going to just hold back against him. His damage came from tick throws. Stuff like this. Alright? When he uses trait, these are all unblockable. If you're near him, you're taking damage. You're getting hit. They haven't shown much about Black Adam in Injustice 2 yet. But I do not expect him to be vastly different. And with the changes that I've been seeing so far, I think he'll actually work very well in Injustice 2. I think he will... Hey, Teddy. I think he will translate very well into the game if they don't do much with him. So I'm hoping that is the case. As you're seeing here, he's got a dive kick. You can meter burn the dive kick and can combo off of it. He's got 2 different dive kicks. One that goes pretty much straight down, and then one that goes much further away. My execution is bad. There you go. So you can generally fake out, or if you're doing something... Does he have an air dash? No, he doesn't. You can do something like this and come straight down on top of someone. Alright. Another thing, let's look at his Palpatine. I like to call this the Emperor Palpatine. Unlimited power! This was -2. You could throw this out very liberally. So let's put him on block here. You're in neutral. You're not sure what's going to happen, but you think he's about to do something? Bam, Palpatine. Look at that pushback. You're -2, but look at the pushback as well. I'm trying to get like right on the very edge of it. Look at that range. That's really significant. And you're -2. That might as well just be plus. So this was really good in neutral. You could throw it out here, and if you expected them to stay on the ground and do anything, whether that you expected them to dash You expected them to do something stupid. You throw this out here, and instantly they're checked. And they're not going to get a punish off of it. They're still pretty much in the same situation that they were just in, except you just kept them honest. You put a little bit of fear into them. I mean, yeah, you did a little bit of chip, but that's not really the big thing. You kept them honest. You stopped whatever they were trying to do, and you're keeping tabs on them. So that was actually really helpful. It wasn't used a lot, but it was very, very good. And another thing here, that will combo. So let's put it here. Oops. That will combo. Alright. Generally, after any string that you can cancel, if you do something like this, if it's on block, you're safe. If it's on hit, you're safe. It was so good. It was really kind of the hallmark of Black Adam, in my opinion, was having the ability to just Palpatine whenever you wanted and not having to worry about getting hit for it. That to me was really, really valuable for Black Adam. He did have pretty good damage. Let's see, I kind of ended up... This combo is really particular, by the way. So, there are much better combos, but I don't really know them. Because I'm not a Black Adam player. And this one's just kind of hard, but... There we go, I got the right thing there. 44%, it's kind of hard to do. It's not practical. I'm not a Black Adam player, so I don't really know a lot of combos with him, so sorry about that. But that's no meter, 44% damage, you know. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'll take it. I would take it. And the best part of that is if you come in here and you expect it to be blocked. Well, let's go ahead and block here. You expect it to be blocked. Why does it do that? Why is he automatically backdashing? That is... Okay, Aha! It has to do with the orbs. It has some kind of... When you put always block on, it tries to avoid the orbs, apparently? It's still getting hit, so it's not doing a very good job. That's actually very... That's not good. Why would they program that? Huh. Well, then I can't show you. But essentially what you do is you just continue it, and you'd have so much time to confirm, you would just end with Palpatine hands. So, Black Adam, very, very safe in how he starts, which he kind of needs to be because he doesn't have a high-low mix-up. You will have the low with the lightning, but it's something that is... It was right on the verge of having that reaction. Let's see, where are we here? Lightning strike. 26 frames. Yeah. The thing that made this hard to block was that it could come at any time. That was the thing that made you get hit by this, was that you never knew when it was actually coming, and it could come any freaking time. So it would always catch you off guard. I would suspect that pro players got to a point where it was not an issue for them, and that's why Black Adam kind of fell off as far as the tournament level scene, because they probably got to a point where they could deal with it fairly well. And it came down to a lot of other things for him. He couldn't throw that in as much and get as much off of it as he could in like mid-level play, you know, coming in something like this and just saying bye bye bye, having little tricks and stuff like here. He probably just lost. He was... if I say it that way, it's going to sound like he was incomplete. I don't think he was incomplete. I just think he lost enough things along the way, that enough things were able to be dealt with, that the few things that he had that were still very, very strong just didn't compare to some of the other characters. Why would I play Black Adam with a very strong tick throw game if I could still play Superman, who also has a good tick throw game, who has an amazing forward 2-3, who can zone, who has an air dash, who has 60-something% corner combos? Why would I play Black Adam? I think that's essentially what happened with Black Adam. It's not that he was unable to do things, it's just, why would I play him if I can play someone that will do pretty much the same thing and more? So let's go through. I think we've pretty much touched on most of Black Adam. He's really based on the overheads. I don't expect him to change very much from this and the next Injustice. I don't expect that. This move, very useless. I mean, it's good on paper because you think, oh, he's got a lot of overheads, so having this low bomb, you think, oh, that's probably good. No, not really. Not really at all. The timing for it is rather slow, and getting it out takes a while, so much so that you're probably not going to be able to really get anything off of it in all likelihood. So I kind of expect that to just be kind of thrown away in Injustice 2. I expect it to be kind of scrapped. Yeah, here's his jump-ins. His jump-ins are actually pretty good. He had really good range on the jump-ins. A little bit floaty, but he's going a very far distance, so it's acceptable as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, that's Black Adam. Hopefully you got a little bit of stuff from Black Adam. I don't expect him to be that different in Injustice 2.
Solomon Grundy.
Now for Grundy. Okay, so I got these corner combos. Let's see if I can do the corner combos for Grundy. I'm really excited to do this, by the way. I've been tinkering with the idea of a video based off an old series that I did. So let's see here. Oops. Nope. 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 Oh, I'm so bad. There we go. 85%. 85%. Now that's 3 bars a meter. Okay. It is 3 bars a meter. But pay attention. I did not have the attack chain going for me. That was raw. I wonder what'll happen if I have the attack chain. That is the end of a round. That is ending a round right then and there. If you hit them in the corner and they have less than 85% and you have 3 meters, you can kill them. They are dead. Let's see, what is the power chain? Back, forward, and then, okay.
Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday, christened on Tuesday,
So now let's try this.
buried on Wednesday.
Oh. Hold on. I gotta wait for this to run out. And let's see how much damage that was. 100%! Let that sink in. Let that sink in! That's a guaranteed life bar. If you had the power chain active, that's 1 guaranteed round for 3 meters and your opponent can do nothing. You are guaranteed that round. All you have to do is get that hit. And it's an overhead. Alright, so it is part of the mix-up. And you are guaranteed the round. Guaranteed. It is yours. Can I do it in a match? I'm not a Grundy player. But I have seen Grundy players do shorter versions of this, because it is less common for a Grundy player to have 3 bars and get the opponent in a corner. But I have seen, and also you also do have to understand that there is a wager involved. So a lot of times, if someone gets put in this situation in the very beginning, they'll identify it and they'll break. So you have to understand that as well. It is possible to hit this, and this proves that if you do take them down, if they do lose a wager, and you do get that hit, if they have anything under 85% and you've got that 3 bars, the game should be over. But doing it in a real match would be pretty difficult for me, but it is possible. Absolutely. I've seen 2 bar versions of it before, so something like this.
Solomon Grundy.
So 68%. I've seen 2 bar versions like that done in a real match. It is not impractical by any means. It has not been done on me, but it has been done on people, and it has been done in tournament games as well. So yeah. But anyway, let's go ahead and look at Grundy. I don't think Grundy's coming back, unfortunately. I'm really sad about that. I like Grundy. I think he was a really cool addition to the game. But, you know, I still want to look at the concept of Grundy here. This was Grundy. This cord, what does it go? Walking corpse charge? Walking corpse. Okay. This was Grundy. The ability to cancel it. He's going to maintain his armor in the beginning of it, but then he can cancel it. This was terrifying. This was everything. This was the character. When you came into this... Let's see if I can cancel this off. Your opponent is terrified. They don't know what to do. Alright? They think, oh no, he's assaulting me. He's coming in here. Let's see if I can... There we go. They think, okay, if I stay still, I get hit by that. But, if I decide to jump... Hold on, let me do it this way. I get anti-airs. So, I can get this down 2 into the throw, and look, if the down 2 does hit... Let's see. Here. If the down 2 hits, I do connect the grab. So I can just do it, and just mash it straight out, and if they were trying to get into the air, they were in the pre-jump frames, they get hit, and I get my throw. Or, I can just be a freaking menace and scare the tar out of them forever just doing this. Alright, and they don't know what's going to happen. And I've got armor during this movement here. So they hit me, and it doesn't matter. I'm still right on top of them, and all I need to do is just get this. And that's what, 28% gone? And corner carry, 31%. 31% gone, and corner carry, and now look at my chain. Not only did I just do 31% to them for no meter, but now that chain essentially means I have more health. Alright? Let me go ahead and show you. Actually, how about I do this? I'll just show you basic soup combo. Oop. Man, I'm out of practice. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness, I am so bad. I apologize. I apologize. Alright, so that's 37%. Again, I apologize. Alright. Oops. Sorry. Let me get the chain up. And I'll switch it back here. And 30%. Alright. So 37% versus 30%. Now you're hitting me for less. I did a crap ton to you. I've gotten corner carry. I spent no meter for it. That is one heck of a situation. That is what Grundy was built off of. And you really had to respect him. This was really good. If you were blocking, you got hit. If you tried to get out of there, you got hit. If you pressed a button, you got hit. And you got right into the throw, which then buffed Grundy. He functioned off of fear, and he did it really, really well. He also had anti-zoning here. That would actually combo. You could actually do this, so you get stuck. Then you could dash up, go into your throw. He also had a hit of armor on it. So let's see if I can... I'm going to record this. There we go. Give me there you go. So he had armor, and then 1, 2, 3, and you see that combo. Full screen, and guess what? I'm buffed, baby. So yes, Grundy was freaking crazy. The big thing though was that walking corpse. That was everything. He also had some mix-ups. Show the mix-up here. They weren't incredibly powerful, but they were there. This is an overhead. You can combo off of it. There you go. And then of course this was the low, as I mentioned earlier. You can combo off of that as well. So, and then you've also got this. That's a low starter. Throw, and of course if they're blocking that, then scoops. If they block actually this, hold on, oops, there you go. You can still pressure from there. He was just built on fear. The biggest weakness that Grundy had was his maneuverability. He would get zoned. Even having this anti-zoning tool, it requires your opponent to be on the ground. And it requires you to have a bar of meter. And it requires you to have the right timing for what they're going to throw. So it is good. It's practical. You will use it. But it's not an end-all be-all kind of thing. It's not a you can't zone me anymore kind of move. They can still zone you, especially if they have something like Superman where they can jump into the air. So yeah, he still got zoned. That was really his biggest weakness. I might as well just cover Superman while I'm here. Superman was dumb. And it looks like he's relatively unchanged in Injustice 2. I don't know if he still has a air dash. Oh, I messed that up. I don't know if he still has an air dash, but I suppose he does, and I hope it's not as good. Let's see, let's look at his corner combos here. Right, and Coolio. %, because he needs it. He needs it. Come on, guys. He needs it. He needs it. We all know. He was incomplete without that. Come on, guys. Let's be honest. Really, really solid damage. This trait is just the worst. Oh my goodness. It's so cruel. This trait destroys armor. It destroys Doomsday's pseudo armor. So you can't meter burn back 3 him. You can't, like, so in the case of Grundy, that walking corpse charge completely nullified. Once I get this out, you cannot armor through anything that I do. It's gonna break your armor. I'll go ahead and show it. Let's do Alright. Here. See? Doesn't matter what you do. I don't give a crap. I don't give a crap. I'm Superman. Superman. He doesn't care about anything. And that really allowed him to be the biggest jerk in the world. Forward 2-3. I believe it started mid. Let me look at forward 2 here. Yep, started mid. 8-frame startup. Insane. He covered a lot of ground. I didn't turn that off. There you go. Covers a lot of ground as you're seeing here. That's a really good range. And this follow-up is -2. But you can be even ruder by ending with breath. So if I'm here and I go to this, look, this range right there for more 4-2-3 pressure. It's insane. Not a lot of characters can really compete with that. Not many people have something that can actually go into that situation and challenge him from there. And if they do have it, it's not faster than 8 frames. He's really kind of left to do whatever the heck he wants. And you just kind of have to deal with it. Very, very powerful. Very simple style as well. If you're wanting to learn Injustice, I would actually recommend playing Superman. Superman's going to give you a really solid base, a really solid foundation for playing the game. You're not really going to be longing for anything. You're going to have most of what you could possibly want right there at your fingertips. You're also going to have zoning here, and you're actually going to kind of learn how to change up your zoning. The thing with Superman zoning, the reason it works is this high laser. This high laser does a lot of chip. You're looking in the health bar right now. You're seeing some big boy chip right now. So you want to duck those, all right? Naturally, you're not going to want to take that, so you're going to duck. But what happens when you duck, that's an overhead. Let me go ahead and just do it to stance. There you go. This is an overhead. When I meter burn this laser, I add an overhead attack to it. So that is forcing you to either try to take the chip here because you fear this coming in, or to try to keep reacting to the different lasers that are coming out, which is harder than it looks. The startup for it is the same. The only difference is the actual laser coming out. So if you're looking purely at Superman, you're not going to notice a difference. It's the same thing. The only difference is the actual laser that comes out. So you have to watch the laser and adjust according to that. Let me actually look at the high laser on block. Let's see what that was on block here. Heat zap. Plus 20 on block. So not only are you taking a pretty decent amount of chip, but he's plus 20 on block. That sucks. That sucks. Believe me, that sucks. If he follows that up, if you block that and he follows it up immediately with, let's see, here and here, you don't have a lot of time in between that. This is 26 frames. You're already 20 frames behind by blocking this. You're not really going to have a lot that you can deal with. The first active frame. The first active frame of Heat Zap, the high one, the high laser. High laser, that's 38 startup. Let's see. This one is 26. You're not going to notice a difference in actual Superman, but the actual speed of the laser coming out is going to be different. As you're seeing here, it takes just a little bit to activate. You'll see the animation before it actually activates. But then the heat here, there you go. That's your 26 frames. So you don't have a ton of time. This is also going to stop you if you're jumping here. But more. I don't know. It's generally it kind of hits at the same time from my experience with it. It doesn't hit later on because actually, I wonder if I can show this. You can actually hit it while the laser is still out. So let's see if I can try to show that. Yeah, I'm going to need a switch here and then record here. So let's try that. Alright. Let me try it a little bit. I gotta wait a little bit longer. Almost. Darn it. Darn it, I was too far, I think. Alright, well, you'll have to take my word for it. It generally behaves as though it happens pretty much at the same time. Calling it a projectile, I think, is kind of misleading, because in my experience, it is always kind of activated like a beam more than a projectile. With a projectile, it would behave more like what I think you're talking about. But because you're farther away anyway, the active frames are going to feel different. It's not going to feel as stupid. Let's see if we can try this up here. We'll do because the laser that you follow up with is going to take a little bit longer to travel as well. Let's do this. Walking corpse. Stand. So it's still hit here. Let's do this. Yeah, it's very, very similar. Yeah, you'll notice it behaves very similar to like what I would expect a beam to be, more than a projectile. But that was a good question to bring up. So let's go ahead and switch off of Superman. Who else? Cyborg. I can knock Cyborg out pretty quickly. Who else can I? Actually, wait a minute. No. Hawk Girl. There we go. That's easy. That's easy to finish up. Alright, this is Cyborg. That's it. You're going to try to get them lower to the ground. See how low I can do them. Okay, there you go. You're just going to do that over and over again. Then you'll do one of these. Alright, one of those. Let's see. You had run cancels, I think. I don't even know how you do the run cancels, to be completely honest. Let's see here. I honestly have no idea how you do any of that stuff. Let's see. I don't even know if that's the right cancel or not. Anyway, there were weird run cancel things that I've seen before, but I don't know how you do it. I don't know if that was just being put Mega Plus, and so it just looked like it. 112. That's what I thought. Let's see. Oh, it's this. That's what it was. Okay. So let's try this. Yes, that was it. Yes, but really, this is Cyborg here. And then, oops, there we go. Yeah, I never liked Cyborg. And you run away, you run towards. Alright, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Healing, cool, whatever. Alright. Now to Hawk Girl. Hawk Girl is the most annoying character. I wonder, what does her frame data say? Because the frame data freaking lied a long time ago. What does it say now? +1. Okay, that actually seems closer to what it should have been. That actually seems like it might be right. I remember before it said like -40 something a long time ago, which was utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. There is no freaking way that it was -41 on block. This was the most annoying thing in the freaking world, and you would just fight Hawk Girl players that would just do it over and over again. It was like, oh, well, deal with it, dude. Sucks for you. This really seems like a you problem, you know? Oh my goodness. And then this, oh, this, oh, this. Oh, and don't jump, though, because if you jump, whoop, it's in the air, too. Hawk Girl did have a decent close-range game. I've played a few Hawk Girl players that knew what they were doing, and were really able to give you problems up close. I seem to recall that she mostly had overhead threats, not too many low threats. So let me look through the combo chart here. Here's one low. Okay. Seems like, yeah. Alright. That didn't work. So yeah, that seems about right. And I believe that little dive was an overhead. So, if memory serves, she had some overhead threats, lows in the strings. Here's another overhead, and then the special hits overhead. I think 2 of the specials hit overhead. Now that I think about it. Oh, these are just the same string. Oh, okay. So that's why it's... Okay. So yeah. This was also very annoying. Let's see what this was on block. On block, -1. Not too bad. But the range of it, not fun. Not fun at all. Look at that down 1 range. That's 6 frames. That's a 6-frame startup right there. That's a 6-frame startup. Have fun. 6-frame startup, have fun. You are not doing anything. How dare you do anything at any time ever? So yeah, that's Hawk Girl. Not a whole lot there. So those are taken care of now. Let's see. Green Arrow was fun. He was pretty cool.
Green Arrow.
And we'll do Lex Luthor. I'm glad to see Green Arrow back. I do not miss Lex Luthor whatsoever. Glad he's gone, as a matter of fact. I think Green Arrow was a really cool character. He was really fun to play against. Really fun to use as well. And I think he was actually probably one of the characters that I felt, you know, wasn't built on some form of nonsense, you know? A lot of times you'll see a character and just think, oh, gosh dang it, this is so stupid. You know? But I felt as though he was kind of fair. You know, he was good, he was capable, but he was good in a fair way. And I very rarely felt BS'd by Green Arrow. I felt like I always had a chance to stop what he was doing, but if I didn't stop what he was doing, it was my fault. Yes, he did have a really good jump 3. This was really good. No question about that. He had to go down 2. Alright. So, you had to respect that. Alright. These arrows could be mad annoying. You get hit by one, you get hit by this, diddy bop, whoop, whoop, 2 poke my shoe. Let's see what this was on block. +3. That, oh my goodness. Oh, that's a standing one. Let's see, does it show the crouching one? Huh, perhaps it does not. Well, anyway, this was fun to deal with online. Very fun. Super fun. All of the fun. All of the fun. Fire arrows. This is what made Green Arrow really unique. These different arrow types were really, really cool ideas. I never found a lot of use for the electric arrow. I just felt like this was kind of a wasted concept. The electric arrow. If it took away meter or something like that, then I would say maybe it was a better tool. But you know, that's whoop-de-doo. You know, I added a slide. Whoop-de-freaking-do. You know, not in my mind, not really worth it. So, if it took away meter or something like that, I'd be more inclined to appreciate this tool. But as it was, I don't really care. Was it a little bit faster than the other ones? Not quite sure. It kind of seems like it. But where it was at was really the ice arrow. The ice arrow that was everything. And then you stock up again. Coolio. The overhead. Stock up. This was so freaking cool, and I love designs like this, and I really hope that they stay true to this design in Injustice 2. I was really sad that Ancestral Kung Jin didn't work out this well in Mortal Kombat. Very, very upset about that, but you know, hopefully Green Arrow will be back in Injustice 2, and we'll have plenty of fun with him there. He was very straightforward. This is pretty much it. This is all you got here. You got the setups of the unblockable super, which was really, really cool. But yeah, pretty straightforward in that sense. Now we'll go on to Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor was all about these traps. Here's an unblockable laser. Alright. You do something like this, throw out this unblockable laser, or this laser here, which is blockable, and then use that to then throw up the unblockable one, because I've got to pay attention to that mini laser, you know? If I get hit by that, and I'm going to get hit by the big one, I'm going to have to sit there and block it. But then if I block incorrectly, if I block too long, if I don't get the timing right for my other block, well, whoop-de-freaking-do. I get hit by a laser while blocking too, because it's unblockable. So, it's pretty... Lex Luthor, he works on paper, but in practice, it's much harder. In practice, applying him is very difficult, and it's really understandable why he didn't work all that well. Let's see, what was his, that's not it. What were those little plate things that he threw down? I don't know the input for those. Let me check real quick. Oh, it's probably down. Yeah, it was. And you can do this. If you dash, you get 2. So his trait was armor. This was what made Lex Luthor strong at all. If he didn't have this armor, he would have been absolutely nothing. Just completely inefficient. This armor is what made everything come together in any way. Loki-san. Batman Super beats Green Arrow Super. Post-Flash? Oh, you mean after that Flash. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, this armor is what made him actually work. Because what you do is now you just have unceasing pressure here. And if you're wrong, you will get hit, yes, but a lot of times you will still be able to block. There will be, you know, exceptions. One of the exceptions that comes to mind immediately is Batman. If Batman decides to punish with 1-1, his first hit's going to beat out your armor, and then the second hit is going to hit you. So that was, you know, a little bit of a screw up in the design of Lex Luthor, that even though he had the armor, it didn't always save him from getting punished. Which kind of defeats the purpose in a way, you know. you would want, ideally, you would want him to be able to effectively threaten with that armor, to have something. That something would generally be, if anything, core charge, right here. This was a huge part of Lex Luthor. Having the armor come out here, someone hits you with your armor, you do something mildly unsafe, alright, they hit the armor, and after you've done your string, you put in your core charge. After your string is over, you immediately put that core charge in there. You knock them down, you throw a trap, or you throw maybe missiles, you throw your traps, you get your armor back up again. Well, actually, you won't be able to get your armor back up again because it's on a timer as well. But you get your traps out there, you try to play that game for a little bit, and then eventually you'll get your armor back. And there you go. It didn't work as well as you would want it to. On paper, it worked. In practice, not so much. So that's really about it to say for Lex Luthor there. Catwoman, let's put Catwoman up.
Catwoman.
And Zod.
Zod.
So Catwoman, a rushdown. She was a rushdown character. Not a lot to say on that front. She was fun. She had, let's see here. This always annoys me, so I have to turn it off. Let's see if I can remember the inputs. Yes. Let me get on this side because I'm worried about setting off and then I got too close. You could combo off of that if you were in practice. Ugh. There we go. I don't remember what the follow-up was. But oh, there it is. You can do something like that, or you could do that as an ender. So this is an overhead starter. This is a low starter. And the good thing about that cat scratch, this thing right here, is that it is actually safe on block. So that gives you a meterless pop-up. Well, it's -7, but you have to push back. Right here, let me show it on block. There you go. Most people are not going to be able to poke you after that. Most people are not going to be able to punish you after that. So it's a good way to end your string, safe way to end your string. Much better than doing this. Much, much better. The offset is that you have to have a little bit higher execution in order to combo the back 3 from it. But it is still possible. So if this is the character that you're going to take, if this is the character that you're going to main, it makes sense to, practice that and to make that your standard. And then once you do get it, it's not going to be a huge problem. But she had some tricky setups after hit, some cross-up shenanigans, but her archetype was the rushdown character. There's not a lot to really say about it. You had some cool stuff out here. You had some anti-zoning tools like this dash here, which would gain armor for the meter burn, and goes dang near full screen. Does it actually go full screen? Let me check. Yeah, goes full screen. If they were holding back, you might get out of the range, but I mean, this is very scary. Very scary. It could come out at any time. If you get hit, it's a combo. So, yeah, but not a lot to talk about as far as her archetype is concerned. Now, Zod. This guy was dumb. So dumb. He had everything that he could possibly want. This push just said, get the heck off of me. You finish all of your strings that you're not entirely sure about, or if you can hit confirm, you finish it with that. Worst case scenario, you push them full screen, but who cares? You're Zod. You probably want them to be full screen. That's probably acceptable to you. You got your gun, you got your balls, AO. You can actually meter burn this with shots. Change the speed of the orbs. And And then this. Overhead. Then you've got your laser. You can cancel it. You can change the positioning of it. Yeah, I mean, this crap is good. Really freaking good. Zod was just a handful. He was very much a zoning character. I would still define him as a zoner. I think he was initially described by the development team as a hybrid zoner. But no, he's a zoner that has 50/50s. But I still think of him as a zoning character. His 50/50s come from his zoning. So once you get this trait out here, they can't do anything. That's just going to say, okay, now it's time for me to dash in and do my 50/50. And if I'm wrong, it's probably fine. You know? If I'm wrong, who cares? I'm just going to go back to keeping you out. And then when I get my trait back, bam! Or you could do something like this. Oops. Here. Mess around with that. Let's do it. There we go. So this low laser threat puts this together. So, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I consider him a zoning character that just had strong 50/50s. I don't consider him to be a hybrid because I don't think he rushes down. It's just he will force you to have to sit there and take the 50/50, but it's because of his zoning. I don't consider him a hybrid. But incredibly strong character. The zoning was what made him. You can't jump. If he has the read on the jump, then he'll do that little flying thing and snatch you up. And that's the most demoralizing thing that could possibly happen to you. He's got the push, which he can throw out in neutral. He can use that at the end of his strings if he's unsure about them. Just complete character, complete package. Deathstroke. Let's get into Deathstroke and... Ooh, Martian Manhunter. Alright. So, we'll start with Deathstroke. Deathstroke is also pretty straightforward, but a lot of... Deathstroke, I would say, is almost closer to being a hybrid than Zod. Because of this. If you block... Let's see here. He just ends everything in Sword Spin. So, what is Sword Spin on? Is this the right one? -6. So, he just goes in here. This gives me some space. A lot of times people would sword flip in here. He's not really rush down, but he's not really scared to be up close, generally. If I do something like this, what was that? I don't seem to recall him ever really being punishable for things that were common for him to do. So, let's see here. Yeah, but you never went just to that one. Yeah, 0, -4. What is that? Oh, no one ever did that. There's no point in that. Yeah. I don't really see him having anything really punishable. I didn't know that was +9 on block. Jeez. Let's see. That was about the closest. What's this? Oh, his overhead. Okay. Or you would do... Yeah. Let's see here. So that's reasonable for that. But yeah, he doesn't really lose much for going in. For at least being close. Now he doesn't prefer to be there, but it's not a huge deal for him if he is there. He can whip the sword from here. He's got decent range on that. His jump-ins are actually fairly good. His damage potential. Let's see if I can... Yeah. He's got good damage potential here. You can also finish something like that with... Right. I think Martian Manhunter is considered a light character. So the guns, I'm not sure. I don't have great memory of this. I don't know if the guns are... if the meter burn pistol ender is affected by light characters or not. But let's go ahead and see if I can do some of the corner combos. That's 43%. He had damage. He didn't just need the guns, but the guns were really his defining trait here. Then they gave him a buff. Initially, this trait was absolutely useless, but then it made the pistol shots, whatever gunshots he did, unblockable. I never personally found many great uses for this, but, you know, it was there, so there's always that. You know, you always had it. I don't really know of any guaranteed setups where, you know, you could really get any real significant use out of it. I would say most of the time it would be reduced to a 50-50 wake-up situation, which is still good, still very good, but nothing guaranteed. Nothing like, oh my goodness, this is so freaking stupid and unfair. I don't recall anything like that. But the guns, that was his big thing. Of course, when they're on cooldown, they miss. But low guns, super good. High guns, if you think that they're going to jump, you just hold them down. You put the meter burn on them, they get hit. This, you throw the overhead grenade. Pretty straightforward. This, sometimes people would use as an anti-air. This was the go-to wake-up. This was the wake-up that you could use... Or this is the wake-up that people who didn't know that this was a better wake-up used. This, if someone used this as a wake-up the first time that you knocked them down, and they were a Deathstroke player, that's how you knew that they weren't that experienced. Because this is really freaking good as a wake-up. It's a really, really good wake-up. So if they use this, then you would instantly think, oh, cool, I've got them. I've got them. They're done. The opponent blocked, and you use this, I think you were, what, -6? But generally you're going to be okay, because I don't think they're really in range to do much. Yeah, and then you could always meter burn it if you were feeling extra lucky and you have the overhead low threat. So let's go ahead and go on to Martian Manhunter. Before I leave Deathstroke, I don't suspect Deadshot will be altogether like Deathstroke. I don't think they're going to do that again. I think there's a lot of backlash on Deathstroke. I don't think NRS is going to try to recreate Deathstroke in Deathshot. I think they're going to step out a little bit more and try to make a little bit more particular zoning, make it a little bit more difficult to zone with Deadshot, and they're going to try to bring him a little bit in line with Rushdown. I don't necessarily like that. I like having characters that are very different, but a lot of people didn't like Deathstroke's design, so I suspect Deadshot won't be as zoning heavy as Deathstroke ended up being. But anyway, Martian Manhunter, this was Martian Manhunter. These orbs. Everyone thought this was Martian Manhunter. No. The orbs. That is Martian Manhunter. Right there. This gave him control of the entire map. You did not do anything without Martian Manhunter giving you the okay first. You did not have permission to do a dang thing unless he didn't put an orb there. That's how you knew that you were okay to do something, is if he didn't put an orb there. You were allowed to do that. If at any time you got a little fussy, then you had to deal with this. But, anti-zoning, I mean, he had this. As soon as he's jumping, you have to assume that he's looking for a teleport. When he is jumping forward, he did have the air dash, right? Yes, okay. So when he's jumping forward from about this range, you have to fear the air dash. Very strong, but he still has freaking overhead teleport nonsense. At any point, you always have to understand that that teleport can be coming through. Can you... I think a lot of characters can. I think most characters can. But it's one of those things that you have to know. Yeah. I think most characters can. But yeah, Orbs here, he had pretty good damage, he had good setups. Oh yes, double hitting back 3. That blew up armor. Now another thing is trait. Surprisingly good. A lot of people didn't make use of this, but you saw high level players really do a lot with it. It also changed the properties of some of his strings. The one that comes to mind is this one. This, the second hit, became a low. So let me show that here. We do it by stance. Oops. So he's blocking it here. Getting hit. Getting hit. It actually becomes a low. This string. Wonder. Okay, there we go. I don't know how to get the orb out, but I think you can actually get the orb out from this string. Let's see what that string is on block here. -6. I'm pretty sure you could cancel this string. Maybe not. I might be wrong. Huh. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Sorry, my bad. Let's see. Low here. Yeah, I don't think there's really much to talk about. Zoning was really good with Martian Manhunter, but the big barrier to getting good with him was the placement of the zoning tools. That was what separated Martian Manhunter players, and let you know who were great players, who were okay players, and who were really committed. So, oops. Ugh, there we go. Yeah, my execution's got to get put back into shape by the time Injustice 2 comes out. But I would say that he was a very neutral zoning character, not a rushdown character, zoner with strong neutral. Yeah, and also anti-zoning. If you needed to take down a zoning kind of character, Deathstroke might have actually fought him fairly well. But if you wanted to take out someone like Harley without a lot of trouble, if you wanted to take out someone like Raven, yeah, Martian Manhunter was a pretty decent choice. Maybe even Green Lantern, actually. Sinestro, possibly. So, yeah. Let's see here. So we've got the top 2 rows. Scorpion, Teleport. There we go. And Vortex. That's not... Scorpion's Vortex was pretty straightforward. We all knew that's how he functioned. Ares was actually pretty cool. Let's do Ares here. And Killer Frost was also very much about the Vortex.
Killer Frost.
So, we'll talk about Ares very quickly. I don't expect Ares to make it in. I was thinking that he might because of the Wonder Woman movie coming out, and he is the villain in the Wonder Woman movie. But thinking about it a little bit more, I don't really expect it, and I'm not really going to be holding my breath for it. I would like him to still be in. I just don't expect it. I'm not going to get my hopes up for it. I wanted to see Circe make it in, but I don't think that's happening either. We got Cheetah, and I think that's as good as we're going to get for Wonder Woman villains. But Ares was actually very unique. He had full control of his teleports here, and I don't expect them to do something similar in Injustice 2. I don't see that happening in Injustice 2 at all. I think they're going to get away from this, and they're going to stay very far away from anything like this. I think this was a little bit too much. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it happening. Godsmack was a gimmick, but sometimes it worked. Sometimes you need a gimmick. Sometimes it's okay to have a gimmick. And Godsmack was one of those things that, as long as you didn't abuse it, too bad, you'd have it in your pocket. You'd be able to throw it out every now and then. It was something that you really had to be careful about, though. His trait, actually pretty good. The axe was better used for stopping someone from jumping. When you're at this kind of range here, this is something that you throw preemptively if you expect someone to jump, because it's going to take them back a little bit. Then you're going to put something down on them when they get up. So here, let's see. Crud. There. So, and then you put a little orb on top of them as they get up. Or, if you got them conditioned to look for the orb, you do something like that. So, here. And that teleport is very fast. Oopsies. Yeah. Ares was designed as a zoning character. His teleports really pulled that together. He initially didn't have that. He initially didn't have teleports that could actually track his opponent and then go a distance as well. He initially didn't have these kinds of teleports, I don't believe. They added that in later on, and that helped him a ton. It made him instantly much more viable than he initially was. But yeah, he still had some problems. His biggest problem is up close. He doesn't compete very well. You're seeing some of his buttons here. He doesn't compete very well when it comes to the speed of his attacks on a lot of fronts. So he can get bullied. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure there was a block infinite against Ares with Superman when the game first released. Ares could not do anything. He actually could not do anything to stop Superman's 4-2-3 pressure. It was a block infinite. And so Ares, once he got stuck blocking that first time, it was pretty much a wrap from that point. What stopped it, I believe, was a Superman nerf. I don't believe Ares got buffed to stop it. I believe that Superman got nerfed. But that is an example of his weakness up close. Someone like Superman nullified him, completely nullified him. So that's going to tell you that when he gets up close, he's going to have some issues. His strings were okay, but not a lot to offer to really kind of do anything special. Yeah, he really relied on the zoning, on teleports, on reading the opponent and making an accurate guess as to what they're going to do, and trying to keep them honest while being dirty himself. So, frustration was a key tool for Ares. Killer Frost, Vortex character. Here, 1, 2, this is the baby stuff. This is the stuff if you're not really a Killer Frost player, but you want to scrub some people out online. Backdashes in Injustice did have a small period of invulnerability. It was... I'm not sure how many frames it was. I would say maybe 1 or 2. Not a lot. It was enough that you couldn't escape everything. There would still be some things, if they were active long enough, you're screwed. Plain and simple. But yeah, there was backdash invincibility to a small degree. So you could commonly backdash interactives. Those were kind of those little mini hype moments in a match where someone gets knocked down and there's an interactive coming, and everybody knows that the only thing that they're going to be able to do is to try to time a perfect backdash And everybody tries it because, I mean, you got to try. The interactives are unblockable. You can't very well just sit there and not try anything. But, you know, the cards are stacked against you. So when someone did actually get the backdash, that was a little mini hype moment within the matches. So anyway, back to Killer Frost, air dash. Pretty dumb. She didn't really need it, but she had it, so who cares? But this slide, this was everything. And I don't know what the genuine Vortex setups were. They probably had something to do with a command throw restand. Let's see what her command throw is. Is this it? I think it is. Yes. Yeah, so you'd have to do the command throw here. So I don't know the combo for it. But yes, she'd restand them, put a meter down on the table, do a brief little charge here to run out the time, and then go into her next mix-up. So that was Killer Frost in a nutshell. She also had some zoning to her here. So she could do something like this. And she could combo from that up close. She could also meter burn it here. And just do it again to just cash out a little bit of damage. Yeah, these daggers, you could not meter burn these. These are just raw. She was safe on her slide. Yeah. Because she needed it. No, she really didn't. She was -4. She was safe. It would be the opponent's turn. However, she has a parry. So, this is one of those things that, you know, it's there. Yes, it's a gimmick. I don't very well view it as a significant part of her arsenal, but it's there. So she comes in, she slides, they block, haha, hardy har har. It's still my turn. It depends on what they use. Let's see, what is the startup of the parry? It's a 1-frame startup, so it doesn't matter what they use, actually. Yeah, it depends on how long the parry is active. But once the parry hits, if she meter burns it, then she can combo from it. So otherwise, it just does a little bit of stun, backs them off, but it's pretty much her turn at that point. So then you're essentially in another vortex if you get hit by the parry. So yeah, not the best thing in the world. But yeah, that's Killer Frost in a nutshell. Vortex character. She was really good. It's just there's a certain character that made her kind of useless, because this certain character had a really good Vortex too, and had a lot of other really good stuff too, that just made them a better choice all around. So, let's see. We're going Raven. We did Ares and Killer Frost. We really don't need to do Scorpion. He's a Vortex character with the teleport. Unblockable. He has the Hellfire like he does in Mortal Kombat. Full screen spear. Really not much to talk about there. And then Doomsday.
Doomsday.
So, let's see here. Raven is a zoning character. She is designed to control the pace of the match, and she does for the most part. She has a few bad matchups though, and she can still be fought. You can still fight her game and beat her in her own game. As long as you're patient, as long as you're willing to play it out, you will generally have a turn. And as long as you can make use of that turn and be scary enough, bully her enough, then you can enforce your will on her. But you do have to play her game at some point. You're not going to get around it. You know, if you've only got 30 seconds, if you've only got a minute to play, don't play against a Raven. Alright? Because all that's going to happen is that you're going to get hit, you're going to lose, and you're not going to have fun. You're going to get really mad, you're going to blame the game, Alright, don't play Raven when you've got other things to do. Play Raven when you've got nothing else to do. Because you have to play against her game. Big thing with Raven, throwing these fireballs and then checking immediately after. If you get hit by this fireball, just stop. You're done. You have to then wait. You then have to feel out this Raven player, think about when she's going to do this pulse. Because as soon as she does this pulse, you generally get a free dash. Let me look here. Yes. 19 frames, and it's a 13 frame startup. So that means you've got 32 frames to sneak in a dash. You get a dash. Alright? As soon as you block this, you are pretty much guaranteed a dash. I think every character is guaranteed a dash. I can't imagine many characters having a dash slower than 32 frames. So, yeah. But that was the whole game. Was reading her, reading when this Soul Crush was coming. And once you do block it, you gain a huge amount of land for it. And that was very significant. And if she panicked and she did it again, and you blocked, and you're playing patiently, you get another dash. And now she's in a really crappy situation. So that was Raven in a nutshell. That was the basic part of her gameplay. Then you had this. And this kind of screwed with you. Because this here builds meter like heck. And at any time... Oh, she ran out of the thing here. Azarath. So, at any time, and I don't remember quite what that percentage was, but that was quite a bit of damage. Yes, it was 2 meters, but she builds a lot of meter in that stance. So, it is kind of worth it to go ahead and use that meter and catch out a little bit of damage. And then you're going back to your zoning game anyway, where you're going to be building meter by throwing 10,000 freaking specials out. So it's really not a huge deal. But not only does she have this zoning presence, she also has a teleport in this mode. I don't expect them to do this again. I don't expect them to do this again in Injustice 2. And now, it's not to say that this was, you know, crazy strong and game-breaking, because generally, if a Raven jumped in the air, you know they're looking for a teleport. Alright, so you're on the lookout for it immediately. Now, you can do it on the ground, alright, but you see there's a little movement where she automatically jumps into the air, so you're already kind of looking for it. And yeah, it does recover quickly, fairly quickly, but it's not the best in the world, and part of that is because her strings are not the best in the world. This is probably her best string, because it pushes the opponent full screen. You can't actually cancel out of it too, which is very helpful. You do this a lot to cancel into trait. That's generally what you're using it for. Oh, that was weird. Okay, so generally you're going to use it to cancel into your trait. Her combo structure, she can combo, you know, she can get damage, but generally you're not getting this stuff. Generally, if you're this close, it's because your opponent is in on you, and you're in deep doo-doo already. Let's look at how fast this back 1-2 combo is. Yes, this is the right one. So back 1, 15 frame startup. Now, you're a zoning character. Someone's gotten in on you. Do you think they're going to give you 15 frames to press a low combo starter? And it's a low combo starter. Chances are you're not going to get that. And you're not going to get that very often. So it's not practical to rely on. She's not a character that's going to just be going in all the time. So, very, would I say high risk? No, but there is risk involved with her. Because once they do get in close, the odds of her winning the match really plummet. She is strongest when she's full screen, when she's got all of this real estate to work with. She can move back just a little bit, move in that Soul Crush range, and really make you guess. But the truth is, that strength isn't all that great in the grand scheme of things. Most characters can deal with her as long as they're willing to play the game for a while. Now, that's not to say that she cannot win. She can most certainly win. But, again, she's kind of the same thing with Green Arrow. She's not really going to BS you. She's very upfront. You know what she's going to do. You know, it's not a big deal. You know. Yes, yes, it did. Very, very accurate. It really, really did. Doomsday. This is Doomsday. That's an overhead low. It is very hard to block. I'm going to attempt to block it, just to show you. Now keep in mind, I know it's coming. I'm looking for it. I know it's coming. I'm looking for it. There we go. It's still inconsistent. It was enough for Doomsday having that one thing was enough to make him viable in mid-level play. Low-level play, free, easy mode. But in mid-level play, it was still enough to really give him a win without too much effort. Now, I'm not going to say he was easy mode. I'm not going to say that, you know, you're not earning a win with him. But that alone was enough to make him viable. Just that. Then you factor in, look at his dash. This is insanity. Watch. 1, 2. He just went full screen in 2 dashes. Tell me that you can keep this guy out. Tell me with a straight face that you can keep this guy out. Because you are lying. You are lying to me. Then you've got this trait here. When you're in the trait, you can see there's a little visual part of this as well. When you're in the trait, let's see, the best way to explain this would just be to show it. Alright. So you're seeing, he's kind of being moved away, but I'm not getting the full effect of what should be happening. And I believe that block advantage was reduced. I don't know how much, don't quote me on that, but I believe block advantage was reduced when he had his armor out, so he would recover a little bit faster than normal. Again, don't quote me on that, but I do believe that's how it worked. So it prevents him from being knocked down or launched. It's really good. It's really, really good. Unless you're fighting Superman. Because when Superman uses his trait, it immediately destroys Doomsday's trait. So that was one little matchup thing, which was really kind of cool, because Superman had these things that, you know, helped him deal with his villains, Lex Luthor and Doomsday. But it was only really one time that your trait would be nullified. Other than that, people were not happy. When you got in, you were in. And you were going to do this all day. And if they couldn't stop it, sucks for them. And you can vary up when you do it. Here's an overhead, double overhead into the low. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. This screwed everyone. It screwed everyone. The timing for it, they're expecting something like this, or just raw. That's what they're expecting. But then you do this. Where was it? This, yes. And you change the timing up completely. And they got hit by that about 80% of the time. For free. Too good. Way too good. The throw range, yeah. He's got a good throw range. Right, there we go. It's okay. Throws weren't that great in the game. So, you know, having a good throw range was nice and everything, but, you know, not all that practical. I suspect that throws will be much better in Injustice 2. I don't know if Doomsday is going to make it into Injustice 2. I don't expect it, but I'm not going to rule it out. Another thing, he's got this unblockable here, but it's not a big deal. He can meter burn the unblockable to track his opponent anywhere they are. If your opponent was using meter burn back 3 for the hit of armor, when you meter burn back 3, you get a hit of armor. If they're using that for your little splash, it's so easy. Just don't do the meter burn, and they throw meter away. You would be surprised how many people fall for that, because there's nothing to tell them when it's coming. There's no cue of whether or not you use the meter burn until you actually use it. So if they see you move off screen, that's all the information that they have. Look, that's all the information that they have. If they just assume that if you use the attack because you're getting zoned out, that you're using the meter burn, they're going to throw the meter burn away and you didn't do it. So, yes. that was one of those little player kind of things. One of the things they don't teach you in fighting game school. You know. But, yeah, his whole game was just this ground splash here. Really crazy pressure. Very, very scary. That was Doomsday. I don't expect them to do something similar. If they did, I'd be okay with it. I just don't expect it. Aquaman and let's see, Shazam. We already covered Hawkgirl. Shazam. Shazam was one of the characters that people said was almost as bad as Joker. I'm not going to argue very much with that. The only thing that I would argue with is if they said he wasn't able to beat someone. Because Shazam did win a major during Injustice. I believe it was Texas Showdown, a guy named Digit. He won. Now, some people will say, oh, Texas Showdown doesn't really count as a major. Okay. But he did win. So that's something to keep in mind. You can do stuff like this. Let's see if I can... There were setups here where this torpedo I believe is overhead, if I remember correctly. Yes, it is overhead, which means you have to stand block it. In Injustice, you could press down and block anything that was not an overhead, whether it crossed up or not. But if it was an overhead, then you had to adjust accordingly. Since this is an overhead, you can actually set up not unblockables, but cross-up setups. So if I knock him down here, I can try to time it to where I actually hit on the other side as he's standing up. There might be some better setups for it. That I don't know, because I'm not a Shazam player. But I do know that I got hit by quite a few. So, you know, I know for a fact that you can actually set up cross-ups for it. Let's see, what was... Yes, this back to overhead. So, Shazam being in Injustice 2 is unlikely. Because, spoiler alert, he died. Superman killed him. So, I don't really expect him to be involved unless, you know, they have alternate Earth characters coming in. But this back 2 was insanely good. You have stuff like this. He's got a follow-up, yeah. So this was really, really powerful for setting up Shazam's threats. Let's see, about here. Yeah, about here. That's a pretty far range overhead, and it is a launcher meterless. He also had teleports. And he can cross up with the teleport. He can go through the opponent. And he can go forward, or he can go backward. This is great mobility. This is really good mobility. Now, his projectile is a high. So, you can see it's okay. You know, it's better to have something than nothing at all. But he's not zoning people out with this. Yeah, you can cancel. I believe. Yeah, you can cancel. Hey Kevin Fam, thank you for stopping by. But But if you meter burn the lightning, it hits mid. So I do not believe it's overhead. Let me check just to be sure. Yes, it's not overhead, it's just mid. But look at the startup. That's a lot of startup. So chances are, if you're using this at a range, your opponent's just going to jump. So his zoning is really only viable if you surprise your opponent with it. You're not going to be zoning someone out with Shazam. It's just not happening. So his real threat was being in here and having high mobility. But in the context of the game, it worked well on paper, but in practice, not as great. Aquaman. Ooh, man, this guy's gonna be a doozy. This was Aquaman. Look at the chip. And then with meter. I wonder if you can actually just hold it. No, you have to tap it. There you go. Look at that chip. He blocked and he took that much chip. Now let's actually let's change the meter here to normal. Now look how much he's building. So he spent 1 meter, did all of that chip, and built back half of a meter again. And he's safe. He is largely safe on that. I don't think there are many characters that can do anything about that than the meter burn here. I don't think many characters can do much about that. But they especially can't do it if he's got this. His trait. It's a combo breaker. It prevents him from being hit. Once he's already been hit, he will pop that trait, and he will instantly be able to block again. So if your opponent only has, let's say your opponent only has a low starter, alright, but they have overhead threats afterwards, like let's say Green Lantern, alright, the only thing that you have to fear from Green Lantern is that first low. Otherwise, the only thing that he's going to hit you with is going to be either mid or overhead, alright? So if you just hold back and you press trait, the worst that can happen is that you get hit by his low. But in his string, he doesn't get a launch from the low. He has a second hit that hits mid that actually creates a launch. Well, you can block that if you're holding back. So you got hit by the low, yes, but you're going to automatically block the next hit if you popped your trait. So it's essentially a combo breaker. Now, if you're already in the air, it's not going to help you. You have to be on the ground in order to make use of it. So if you're being juggled, it doesn't matter. But if you're standing on the ground and you pop this out here, you can block as much as you want. Now, if you still block incorrectly, like let's say an overhead attack comes in and you're crouching, even if you have trait active, and it launches you, you're stuck in the air now. Alright, but let me see if I can actually show this. It might make a little bit more sense. I'm not sure if I'm explaining it correctly. Alright, so as you're seeing here, I can still hit him with the low, but let's see, do I even have a low starter? I don't think Shazam has many lows. So he takes the low. I don't think he has any low starters. I should fix that statement. Yeah, he doesn't have any low starters. All overheads. But if he did have a low starter, and there was a second hit afterwards that hit mid that popped up, he'd get hit by the low, but the mid would be blocked if I'm just holding back. Let's switch back. Aquaman also has really good damage here. Now this is unsafe, but if I pop trait, I'm magically fine. Let's look at damage for Aquaman. If you're blocking, you take about 15% from this. If you're getting hit, you're taking dang near 30%. And remember, you're building some meter back while doing this. You also have stuff like this. And this is fairly easy to confirm as well. Shazam does have command grabs. I'll go back to that. Thanks for reminding me. You have an overhead here. Let's see. Yeah. Now, in Injustice 2, I don't think they're going to allow this again. I believe they have changed that. Oops. Of course, now I'm missing it. I used to never miss this. There you go. I believe what they're doing is forcing this.
You anger me.
From what I've seen, it looks like they're forcing this. They're also possibly allowing this. So let's also do. Yeah, you could do this before. I'm not sure again if they're allowing you to do something like that. I've also seen. Let me give myself the meter again. I have also seen something like this out of the Injustice play with Aquaman so far. I don't like that. I think that that's kind of weird, but it might work a little bit better in Injustice 2. Other than that, Aquaman from the deep pressure, this is a tracking move. If someone is in the early parts of their jump, they're going to get hit by it. Then you can meter burn it, and then throw this as they wake up. And it does this trident throw here is actually a high, but if you time it correctly, you can make it hit meaty when someone gets up. So this is also good for hitting people as they're jumping. If you've got a decent timing on when they're jumping, and you know that you won't be able to get them in the early parts of it, and you're really still wanting to keep your zoning up, then you throw this, and that timing is generally going to be able to allow you to hit jump in attacks if you understand what you're doing. So that is pretty much Aquaman in a nutshell. You've also got this crazy factory range here. Pretty good here. Covers a lot of space. Then also here. So yeah, very good stuff. Now, let's go back to Shazam. His command throws, which actually it's a very good thing that you reminded me of that. I believe Cheetah is going to function similarly to Shazam when it comes to these command throws. The command throws are dependent on your opponent's stance. So if my opponent is standing, I'm going to... Let's do this. There we go. I believe that one... Does that one actually hit if they're crouching as well? Let's see. No, it does not. Alright, I think there is one other one that he's got. Is this it? I believe it is. This is for crouching. Both of these can be meter burns or a combo extension. Let's have him stand up here. You can see the low one does not work. Combo extension. I believe Cheetah is going to function in a similar way. As far as hit throws go, this can just combo straight in. I don't know of any tick throws that he has. Let's go ahead and look, just for funsies. Alright, so that doesn't work. Let's have him crouch. See if that works. Okay, so that does work. If they're crouching. If they're standing, let's have... Does not work. Does not work. Nope. So yeah, doesn't look like he's got the greatest tick throw game in the world. But there we go. There's something. But yeah, I suspect that Cheetah was kind of inspired by Shazam, except she appears to have mix-ups in her strings as well as those kind of stance-specific command throws.
Zatanna.
Let's see, we covered Black Adam. Let's do Bane.
Bane.
Zatanna, man. Zatanna was one of those characters that I think they tried to do too much with. I think they tried to make her super duper fancy, and it was a bit too ambitious. She's got 10,000 different things that she can do here. Alright? And half of them are never even done. So, here, this is what you need. This is actually good. This is viable. This is usable. This is practical. Let's see here. This, you will very rarely have an opportunity to use. Now, you see, when I do this, there are 3 different versions of her. You can choose which one you are. So if I do the input and I press forward, I'm the one in the front. And you can see the camera actually shows it. It actually gives me away by shifting. Now, I chose to be the one in the back. The camera shifted. If I stay here, in the center, camera still shifted, but it's still giving away which position I'm in. So, I mean, you know, I get, and for a practical purpose, it kind of has to do that in a way. But it just told them who I am, you know. But anyway, you're not really going to have an opportunity to set this up. And if you do get hit, and look, I mean, I have to walk into them. If you do get hit, it throws it off anyway. So if someone just does a wake up, then it didn't matter what you did. And actually, can you even block when you're in this mode? Now that I'm thinking about it, you might not even be able to block when you're doing this. Maybe you can. But anyway, this was actually it's kind of tricky. This is something that you actually use for ambiguous cross-up setups. You'll do something like this. Let's see. See if I can. Ugh. I always mess up this. There we go. But you would actually do this on some kind of combo setup, and I'm not a Zatanna player, so I can't show you one of those really intricate high execution setups where you would then end with something like this, and then you'd be right on top of the opponent, and then you would come down with either this or this, and then go into another combo. I can't tell you how to set those up, but that's generally what I see people do with it. Or, you know, just some cheeky little, oh, haha, you know, I did this thing this time. Party har har. I'm so good, you know. Her buttons up close were not very great. This is a 5-frame standing one, but, you know, it's good on paper. It's just one of those things. This is a 20-frame low. That's kind of rough if you're trying to use it up close. Yes, you have a launcher, but, you know, yeah. 23 frame overhead, which, I mean, it's okay. If, you know, if your opponent's not doing anything anyway. If your opponent's busy, if they're out to lunch. You're out here. A lot of times you would finish a combo with something like this, and then you go into your mix-up. She was a zoning character who tried to have a vortex. I say try because it was kind of hard. She was very technical, high execution to do some of the stuff that was really effective. Just not really worth the time investment when there was another character who could do a vortex and who could stop other people from zoning and technically have zoning of her own. It wasn't great, but you know, she could control the pace of the match, and the opponent really had to just kind of give in to her will, which we'll talk about her later. But you had stuff like this, you had all these tools, all these traps, and it's really good on paper. It seems like it should be good, it seems like it should work. But in practice, the things that were most effective, the things that were strongest were high execution, crazy freaking setups that just weren't practical to throw in. And then you mix that in with her buttons not being the best in the world. You're seeing a lot of slow stuff here. A 7 frame down 1 where the average down 1 is 6 frames. Already a slow low starter. It's just... She didn't have a lot that was practical for real matches to come in. Mix-ups in her strings, yes, but they didn't lead to much. A lot of them were just enders. She was meter dependent. She really needed the meter to get stuff started. This was one of her best things, her standing 3 right here. Now, you see 13 frames. How is that, how's that going to be, freaking amazing, fantastic? Well, first you look at the range, but also this. And this. And this. Alright. Canceling it into something was really fantastic for her. And it allowed her to say, stop doing stuff. Stop doing stuff, stop doing stuff, stop doing stuff. She needed that. That was one of the best things that she had. And she used it as... it was almost kind of like a little Street Fighter kind of thing. It had decent active frames here, and if the opponent did anything at all, you also see it's kind of advancing her forward. If the opponent did anything, it generally out-prioritized anything that they did, and then the ability to cancel it just made it really freaking good. So, unfortunately I can't show you the super crazy, intense, high execution stuff with Zatanna. Wish I could, but I'm not quite there. Now, Bane. Bane is in Injustice 2, and I have not developed an opinion yet on the state of him in Injustice 2. I know that his trait works a little bit differently. I'm going to explain how it works in this. In Injustice 1, you manually control the levels of your trait. You can see down here it says ×1 if I press the trait button again, ×2 if I press it again, ×3. And you also see there's a visual difference on him as well. When he's in this mode, really enhanced mobility, but then when he's out of the mode, as you're seeing again, lowered mobility. Now his forward dash is still pretty good in this mode, but I mean, look at this. This is nonsense. This is utter nonsense. And let's look at the range of his non-venomed dash. 1, 2. Pretty much like Doomsday. It's absolutely, utterly insane. One of the things that you'll see here, he's got a lot of, if you just saw the Injustice 2 stuff, they kept him very, very similar. He's got a lot of the same stuff as he seems to have in Injustice 2. Here's an overhead, and I believe he can combo after. Let's see what his specials are here. Body press is that. Let's see what this is. Yeah, okay. So. Oh, that's not one. Maybe not. Let's see here. Oh yeah, you can. Okay, so yeah, you can actually cancel that. So very similar to a lot of the stuff that he seems to have in Injustice 2. Some overheads. He's got some lows. I believe he has a low starter right there. Yep, that's a low starter. I believe he has an anti-air throw, if I do recall. Perhaps not. Let's see. Alright, that's a combo extender. That's a launcher. Let's see here. Perhaps not. No, wait. Yeah, he does. So that's an anti-air throw. His down 2, I don't recall being as great of an anti-air, but it's still probably very viable. The big thing is when he's got this Venom here, let's actually and meter burn. He's got some pretty serious damage. That's 32%. But when his Venom is gone, he takes damage, very, very high damage. Not quite as extreme as they showed in one of the gear setups, where his damage just went through the roof. I think he had, you know, a super that pretty much killed the opponent from full health. And then he took damage and he was pretty much dead from full health. So, you know, this super is doing only 54%, as opposed to what I think they showed was a dang near 100% thing from super. So it's not quite that stacked. But the big thing with Bane is this mobility. This mobility is too hard to deal with. At some point, Bane is going to get in, and you're just going to have to deal with this. And heaven forbid something like that happen to you. I believe, is that overhead? It is overhead. So he's got this overhead threat he can put in at any time. It does launch. See a little combo here. It's not a huge kind of thing, but it's enough to make you kind of sore that you just got hit by it. So it's not launched for, like, you know, a serious D&D combo, but it's, yeah, it's a little bit of damage, and it is the overhead, and this little meter burn here is going to give you a little bit more. Also, when he's in his Venom, he starts to gain armor on things. So normally, he might not have armor on all of these specials that you're seeing. He won't have armor on this overhead special here. But when he's in Venom, he will. He'll gain armor for all of his special moves. Now, I believe that his armor only comes into effect on level 3 Venom. Actually, it might come in. Let's actually go ahead and test. It has been quite a while, but that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and record him. Yep, even from level 1, he's got armor. And he actually also takes reduced damage when he's got Venom. And he does more damage as well as having the armor. And he has better mobility. He's just plain old better. So he's relatively untouched in Injustice 2. So, yeah, command throw, not fun. Now, let's see. I still have Wonder Woman. I've got Green Lantern. This freaking chick. So let's do Sinestro and Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Sinestro is a zoning character. I think that Atrocitus has kind of taken Sinestro's place. However, Sinestro is not as aggressive as Atrocitus is. You're going to notice Sinestro's trait here creates a little Dex Orb. This doesn't have as many options as Dexstar has. It doesn't have the shield, but it does just have this one little laser beam. This laser is fast, and it extends combo potential. It locks the opponent down. It allows Sinestro to essentially impose his will. And you do have a few mix-ups Sinestro has. Let's see if I can... I'm not a Sinestro player either, so, you know. Yeah, anyway. In his pressure, once he gets this orb down, even when he's full screen, you're going to have stuff like this. One. He's going to keep throwing him out, throwing him out, throwing him out. He's going to do his overhead. It's an overhead tracking projectile. You can meter burn it. Let's do... Hold on. I can do this. Darn. Maybe not. I know he can do it. This is whether or not I can do it. There we go. And then a lot of times when you put someone in these shackles, that is an open invitation to then charge your trait. Sinestro is infinitely better when he has the trait. This is Sinestro. This is Sinestro at his finest. This is the worst thing to try to deal with. You're seeing that he can actually meter burn and have quite a delay on his projectile for these follow-up orbs. When you couple that in with the trait, it is absolutely ridiculous, almost impossible to try to get in on him. You just have to figure out what he's going to do. That's the only thing that you can do, is figure out when he's going to use one of the shots and block. My philosophy when fighting Sinestro was to make him fear me. I needed to call out his shots and make him scared to waste his shots. In order to do that, you just gotta read when he's gonna use it. It's not easy. It's not meant to be easy, but that's what you have to do. That's the game plan for fighting against Sinestro. You gotta be brave. Don't let this orb dictate the whole match. Take some risks. You have no choice. If you don't take risks, you're going to sit full screen and you're going to get hit the entire time. And eventually you're going to lose, and you wouldn't have gained anything for it. So, yeah. He also has a mini vortex. Some people insisted that this was not a vortex, that you could get out of it. Whatever. It was pretty hard. And you can combo off of it from there. Again, I'm not a Sinestro player, but the other aspect of the vortex would be this. Oops. And you hit on the other side. So it's really about if you decide to stop it with this, or if you keep going and cross up with the 3. So, kind of hard to do. Yeah. Sinestro was probably... He was one of the better zoning characters in the game. Easily. Let's see here. Inching forward with walking and crouching is useful for zoners with high hitting projectiles. Yep, you had no choice. That was the best that you could do. If you block mids, you could usually dash or jump on reaction. Usually, unless they were changing the timing for what they were doing. If they were doing it in a pattern, then yes, you generally could do it like that. If they were on a pattern, there would be some people who would specifically wait to catch you doing something like that, so that they could then hit you. If you had the read that they were doing it on a pattern, or at least doing it on a pattern at that time, then yeah, those would be perfect. And the dash generally would be guaranteed after quite a few things. But you've got someone like Sinestro, and then if he gets his trait up, you don't have a dash, because this trait can come at any time. You also don't have a jump. If you jump, here. If you jump, it's very similar to Batman's trait. He hits you and then he back threes you. And you're having fun. All of the fun. So, yeah. Sinestro is just a zoning character. He had a little bit of a vortex. But, Green Lantern. I don't know what they're going to do to Green Lantern. I don't expect him to be completely similar to how he was in Injustice 1, but I do expect him to be kind of close. I used to play Green Lantern. Oops. I used to play Green Lantern. He was the second character that I played, that I took as a main character. First character was Batman, then it was Green Lantern, and then finally it was Wonder Woman. Green Lantern is probably... Look at that freaking back speed. that's absolutely, utterly ridiculous. And his forward speed is also really good too. But considering that he is a zoning character, having a back speed like that is just crazy. And this forward speed, Green Lantern was one of the few characters who he could actually get zoned out. He wasn't, I mean, he's got this, but as you can see, it's pushing him backwards as well. So yes, he can at least trade, you know, but he's not gaining ground. But he's one of the characters that he couldn't really dash in between. Yes, Lantern. Yeah, I was just getting to that. Yes, his dash is slow. He was one of the characters who didn't really want to dash. He wanted to actually just hold forward. So he would actually get zoned pretty well because his dash wasn't as great at making up ground. And so he also didn't have very threatening long-range tools. He's got this minigun, which you can enhance with the trait, and it's going to go much further, as you can see. Rockets are not going to go full screen. You can meter burn it, and the second part will go full screen. But if you're engaged in a zoning war, a full screen zoning war, you're not going to have that time. And you're going to throw a meter away, and you're not really going to get much out of it. So when he's full screen, he doesn't have anything except for this. And he can try to YOLO turbine in, but that's not really something that you can... It's not something that you can rely on for a long period of time. His real strength was being about here, just outside of a jump-in range, where he can pop this pretty quickly. He's got access to the minigun. He's got these rockets. This was really his prime area. Once he started going further and further out, generally if minigun didn't hit, you're too far. Generally. You can be a little bit, like right around here. Yeah, this is a good rule of thumb. If minigun didn't hit, you're not in the right area. Got rockets. Rockets were pretty good, but they were fairly slow. You don't want to throw that out if you're in the middle of a zoning war. Green Lantern was best when his opponent didn't have something to throw back at him in this kind of range here. Lanterns might, what, 10 frames or some nonsense? And he's got all kinds of stupid resets. One thing, okay, I was very proud of this, I just have to throw this out here. One thing I didn't see very many other people do, when I say I didn't see very many other people do, I mean I literally never saw anybody else do this. So I was super proud of this. This is my own little mix-up. I've never seen anyone else do it. Oh, well, they ended up nerfing the knockdown a little bit, so I had to change the timing for it. But when the knockdown was super duper good, he could actually stop himself from going cross-up. Like that. And most of the time, people had never seen this before. And so, the reason that people had never seen this before is because, I'm pretty sure, when most people tried something like this, they got that. Alright, what you have to do is dash, but then as you're dashing, hold back. Oops, I messed it up. You actually hold back just a little bit while you're dashing, so that by the time you come out, you're actually going to be moving backwards just enough that you're not going to cross them up. Normally, when you do this dash, you are going to cross up. So I dash here, and I don't do anything, I'm going to cross up. But if I'm holding back during the dash, by the time I come out, I'm going to be holding back just enough that I'm going to end up on the same side. So then, when you actually implement that into this reset, and Green Lantern, he was really famous for this Meter Burn Lantern's Might reset here. Once you introduce that, not only do you have the overhead, the cross-up overhead threat, not only do you have the cross-up low threat, But now you've got same side overhead or cross-up overhead. And the low. So it was very cheeky. I don't think he should have had it, to be completely honest. I don't think he deserved it. I don't think he needed it. I think he needed to play neutral better and not have gimmicks, personally. But he did have the ability, so if you wanted to use it, you could use it. I don't expect him to have that in Injustice 2. Just letting you know. I do not expect that whatsoever. Another big part of Green Lantern was this. This second hit is an overhead. Alright? But this recovers fast enough that you can go into his low starter here, which has insane range. So if you can hit, if you're close enough to hit this, this overhead, you're also close enough to let this recover and then go into your low. That will catch people, but you do have to train them for it. This was used so sparingly by a lot of other Green Lantern players that some people didn't even know that it was overhead. So, low starter hits OGG, yeah. I'll leave it at that. Yeah. It had to be given to them because players didn't use it very much.